Now, let's go through the question. Yati wanted to study the conditions for decomposers to thrive. She took 2 similar cans of tuna and opened one of them. She left both the opened and the sealed cans of tuna on the table. After a few days, she observed that the tuna in the open can has turned bad, while the tuna in the sealed can was fresh upon opening. Explain why the tuna from sealed can did not turn bad after a few days. Okay, before we go into the thinking processes, what was I doing just now? Reading question, right? Now, this is what a lot of students would do. They read question. They just read. But is the mind processing the information? Sometimes may not. Okay, so how do we help our children to overcome this part? Because science is so full of clues and information, and they are important. So instead of just reading, it's a very good habit to cultivate in our children to underline. Okay, that's the basic that we can do. Some teachers actually want their children to annotate, to write a lot more notes wherever that is possible. Now that one is another skill that is above underlining. So why don't we just start from the basic? Okay, at least we underline the important information. Now let's go through the question one more time. But this time round, we're going to underline, or some children prefer to highlight, yeah, whichever method they prefer, the important information that is given. Okay? Yati wanted to study the conditions for decomposers to thrive. She took 2 similar cans of tuna and opened one of them. Now, words like this, similar, should take note. So nothing to do with the cans of tuna because they are similar. She left both the open and the sealed cans of tuna on the table. Next, both on the table, that means same location. After a few days, she observed that the tuna in the open can has turned bad, while the tuna in the sealed can was fresh upon opening. Explain why the tuna from the sealed can did not turn bad after a few days. Now, let's look at the template. Okay. Now, let me reiterate. During exam, this template would not be there. This is a training phase where we have to explicitly write down the topic, the concept, the point, everything to work out. It is a train until our mind are so used to it that even without the template, our mind is trained to think in this format. Okay, let's go. What topic this question is based on? Your child may be saying, oh, P6, interactions. No, it's P3, diversity, where we learn about bacteria. Yeah. So from here, we have to think, what did we learn about decomposers in P6? What do we learn about bacteria? Because bacteria are decomposers in primary 3. In P6, right, the decomposers mainly, what do they turn the dead matter into? And how are those simple substances are being used? So which is not very related to this question. It's more the primary 3 portion under diversity. Okay, so this is again under diversity. Oops. Bacteria portion. Okay, and if you want to refer to the textbook, it's actually found in the diversity textbook, page 42. Yeah, and the tested focus. What exactly about bacteria is this question talking about? Tuna turn bad. So if you look at page 42, there is one part saying that the concept they learn is actually bacteria will grow on food and turn them bad. Bacteria grow on. Sorry about that. Yeah, you may want to note down all this in the template, the template that you have printed out. Now, clue given in the question. Before that, it's fine, this template, we don't have to go in order. We can always go to the outcome first so that we are focused on exactly what we need to explain. So in this case, the results that need to be explained will be tuna sealed can did not turn bad. Okay, so here during training phase, like I said, it's best that we write down, but we don't have to write down everything. Just the important keywords, like this will be sealed, then did not turn bad. Okay, so this is actually like the end of the explanation. Once we reach this stage, stop. Okay, and then now let's go back to look at the clue given by the question, the C component. The C component, why did the tuna did not turn bad? Because it is sealed. Okay, it's actually here also. So this clue is given in the question text. Now remember the 4 places that we can find the clue: question text, table, graph, and diagram. So this one is in the question text, seal. Okay, so that's the clue, the word seal. Is there anything else that we can interpret about the word seal in relation to bacteria? Now, when a can is sealed, means what? Okay, actually the child has to ask, like a question and answer, okay, on his own, like what I'm doing now. The can is sealed. Sealed means what? Bacteria sealed. Oh, when the can is sealed, bacteria cannot enter and grow on the food. Yeah, okay. So, bacteria cannot enter the can. Next, concepts learned, which is here. This is the concept we have identified, but can we write down this just like that? No, we can't. Okay, we need to rephrase it to answer the question. So back to here, bacteria cannot enter the can, so no bacteria grow on the tuna. See, just by saying grow on the tuna, we are linking the concept to the question already. Pardon me. To turn the tuna bad. So when there's no bacteria growing on the tuna in the sealed can did not turn bad. Okay, that's it. All this starting from here. Starting from the word sealed all the way. All of this. Okay? Make up the answer that the examiner required. The next portion is just put them together into a complete sentence. Alright? Now, along the way, if you have any question that you need to clarify, feel free to type in the chat box. Okay, I'll do my best to answer while teaching, which may be a bit difficult. If I don't get to answer your question, I'll definitely do that, okay, after the session is over. Yep. Okay, before we continue with question 2, let's come back to question 1. Okay, I just realized that the page number shouldn't be 42 for question